all this stuff that you've got going on.
Yeah.
Have you ever thought of leaving your position here at St. Anthony? And
every day I dream. A girl can dream. It's always a temptation, but I say this to people all the time. Like I have a lot of friends. I do the Catholic speaker circuit. I travel about once a month, sometimes twice. I do it, but here's the deal. There is a difference between speaking from a stage and ministering in people's daily life. And I say this to people all the time. So I'll give a men's session at a Steubenville youth conference, right? It's teenage boys and they're all pubescent and, I love them, but they are, you have these group of kids that are waiting for you at the end of the stage to talk to you. And so I started this my first year when I ever did a men's session. And this kid comes up and he's like, can I talk to you about this? And I said, no. And the guy's like, what? And I go, unless you promise me you will talk to at least one caring adult back home. I almost said non-parent, but I didn't mean that. One adult back home who cares about you that can walk with you. Because if you're here to get a cathartic experience from the guy at the stage, like this means nothing. You're going to have an emotional reaction. You're going to go home. Maybe I'll give you something to think about, but who's walking with you?
Yeah.
Life change requires community.
Yeah.
Right? It does. And so, there's a line from Protestant pastor Rick Warren. He says, if you want to be forgiven, go to confession. I don't think he was talking about Catholic confession, but it works even better for us. If you want to be forgiven, go to confession. If you want to be transformed, you have to go to community. And I think communion is a part of community. Yeah. And this notion of just giving talks is what some people are called to, right? And some people are definitely. Like Jason Everett, when he gives a talk, lives change, all this stuff, awesome. But discipling people has to be something more. Because I notice, I don't know about you, but when I give a talk, it's usually one of the 10 talks I give all the time. So if I got it down, I got my funny jokes, you can set your watch to them. And when I get off the stage or whatever, people just want to say, oh my gosh, that was great. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So I get all these affirmations. And then I get in my car, go to a hotel, and the next day I'm on an airplane.
Yeah.
But what about walking with the husband who was abandoned by his wife? What about walking through the couple dealing with a pornography addiction, or whatever it might be, or kids who are cutting themselves or whatever. Like, here's the deal. I don't want to walk with people through that because it's exhausting. People are exhausting, but it's worth it. And so that's why I stay. That's why I stay. Because
of the work that you do at the ground roots.
Yeah, because you see it.
Yeah.
Like it's hard to see the light come on in someone's eye because you've invested, you've done the good work. You were stewards of the mysteries of Christ, right? You've done the good work. You've been the ambassador. You've given them what they can, and then they respond. And then they're off. Like they're off to the races. They're learning, they're doing, and it's such a game changer, right? To be someone who got to be a discipler, right? There's a million ways that we all contribute to that, right? I don't want to sit there and say that people with YouTube channels or people with podcasts or people with whatever aren't doing this. We're all, the great analogy from Dr. Carol Brown is it's like, what do you call them? Like food, whatever on the sides of roads, like they'll have like fruit displayed, stands, fruit stands. And you drive by and you see the first one and you're like, who would pull over for peaches? Like you keep driving. By the time you see the third one, you're like, okay, well, like a peach would actually send a nice day out. The peach, it could be quite refreshing. Yeah. And then you pull over at the fourth or fifth one. And the idea is this, the first through fifth or fourth, they never saw the fruit of their labor. But if it wasn't for the fourth through the fifth, I never would have pulled over to the fifth one. Right. Yeah. And that's the thing that I think people miss in evangelization. Like, you're a catalyst. You gave a talk, and that's a catalyst. And they'll tell you nice things about you at the bottom of the stage or afterwards in the parish basement when you're selling your books or whatever, which I don't have any books to sell. But to be that fifth, fruit stand, it's awesome, right? To be there with someone. Speaking to tens of thousands is cool, but baptizing someone, like standing here, right out, on Easter Vigil, and someone's getting dunked, and you hear the words, like,
and
awesome.
You're a part of their lives.
Yeah, and they're godparent for crying out loud for a lot of these people.
Yeah,
or their confirmation sponsor. I'm a part of their process. So that's what keeps me here. What keeps me here is number one, the church is my family. To be rooted, like you were saying with Saint Faustina's, like, where do you go that you're going to get this kind of community?